Sangye Chuparsho Sangye Chudang Soki Chonamla Changshu Bardu Dagni Kyaksuchi Dagi Chunyen Gipe Sunamki Chola Benchir Sangye Chuparsho Sangye Chudang Soki Chonamla Changshu Bardu Dagni Kyaksuchi Dagi Chunyen Gipe Sunamki Chola Benchir Sangye Chuparsho.
Email me a copy of the latest Word version and also
Oh, it has
the
changed a
latest
little bit.
Allison version.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Remind me later today.
Okay.
Homework time.
Yay, homework.
Yay, homework.
So we had our drive through Arizona last time, and and he described how each one of those consciousnesses relate to each one of the objects / experiences. So if you remember back that far, what consciousness do each of the objects in our drive through Arizona relate?
Okay.
There was the state of Arizona,
Consciousness.
Yeah.
which is the
Kunchi's location.
Yeah.
The first two are in Kunshi, the world and the location.
Uh-huh.
And
GPS.
then
Your GPS dot me
Muni is for the
Me.
awareness of I,
Yeah.
and then the others are in the
Details
first
are the
five. First six.
six.
Yeah.
The six.
Yeah.
The six.
Why again is the location
Kunshi.
Kunchi?
I don't know if you give a reason.
Just
Is that a fancy pants way of saying I don't know?
I could give you a reason. You didn't give one. Why is being in deep sleep and getting poked an argument in support of a foundation consciousness?
Whoa. Nice.
The other ones are not engaging with all
Is it one argument or are these two different arguments?
That's
Yeah.
one argument.
That's
Consciousness that covers the whole body.
Anatol's got it, I think. Go ahead, Anatol.
Yes,
Louder,
consciousness
louder.
that covers the whole being, because the other consciousness, like the six, are not being engaged.
Yeah.
How does this?
They've withdrawn, as they say. It's very similar to the yoga idea of pratyahara. Yeah. In sleep, the senses withdraw.
How do we account for smelling salts?
So if they're withdrawn and someone pokes you with a needle, then how come you wake up if you don't have a kunshi?
I
So you
remember
must have
not finding these conditions.
you must have a background consciousness.
That's not great.
You can think of kunshi as a background consciousness. If there were no background consciousness, why do you get woken up when someone pokes you when you're asleep? Yeah.
Because you still have skin.
Feeling.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
Why does smelling salts wake you up?
Okay, number 3. If the above were not the case, according to our author, what would happen when you poked a corpse?
He'd win a prize.
It's in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Zombie.
Sounds like me waking up.
The real answer, I mean,
Hey, why is it blank? Oh, sorry.
did you guys?
I don't remember.
Rise from dead.
Yeah, rise from the dead. Sure.
Basically. The corpse will wake up too.
Yay!
Yeah, good morning.
Okay.
Hey, whoa.
So then,
How long was I asleep?
what's the first one?
Who said that? Nice.
What's-
Get him.
What's,
Nice. Deep
what's the whole
sleep.
thing?
He wants the parts. He wants the
The whole
parts.
thing.
Ni,
Opposite of all is not
ni means what? Sleep. Tupo,
Tupo is sleep.
deep. And lokpa means to do it. Sorry, pancake. Sorry, I'm sorry.
We know you know.
Okay. I got excited.
This Ben is exciting. Okay. I wrote the action of sleeping deeply. Okay. Sununpa?
Metal pokey thingy.
Pretty much. I don't know if that's any metal, but
Okay.
sharp.
Sun.
What? It's
Right.
not. It's not just a poke. Nunpa is the poke, but sun is
Weapon.
Needle.
Needle.
the thingy.
Knife.
Pokey. Poker.
Yeah, the poker, the sharp pokey thing.
Poker face.
Poked by a hairpin. I put because of our example.
Hairpin.
Geshel's example.
Yeah.
But it's not really a hairpin. Okay, so
Wheel
pop
of
chop
hairpin.
It was a hairpin.
The wheel of sharp
Exactly,
hairpins.
yeah.
Yeah.
and pop chop go shi namshi.
The consciousness in which you smear for the foundation consciousness for the seeds. Where the place where you can
Okay,
smear
you're
the
really
seeds.
close. Someone else or Nick? Try again.
I'll give it up to someone.
Wait, what did you say?
The place where the foundation where you can smear the seeds, the consciousness.
That's literally what it means, but what is it?
Referring to.
Kunchi.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what part of the country?
Oh,
Nice.
The upper part.
The
The
refrigerator.
the den or the temba?
Oh, I can't remember which is
That's
which.
the question.
It's
The
refrigerator.
Britain, right?
They're both the refrigerator.
No, I always remember the longer word is the upper one.
Oh, so then it's the Britain.
Yeah.
Yeah, namen, the part that's already ripened.
Ripened. Okay.
Yeah, ripened part.
Explain for our guests.
Oh, okay.
The refrigerator.
So foundation consciousness, the eighth consciousness in the mind-only school, has two parts. The part that is seeds that are dormant still, and the part that are seeds that have already been ripened. And that part is actually conscious, and it actually manifests as your world. At the same
Okay,
time.
cool.
And that's my homework.
Wait, can you explain number
Yay.
3? Number 3, why is it a proof?
What? Oh, because
Question 3. Because
If
he's
it were-
debating that the smelling cells, but
yeah,
you're saying
Don't blame this on me.
no. Three is
it's a
saying
rebuttal. That's your rebuttal.
if it wasn't the case that it was a foundation consciousness that was responsible for tying all the things together and the reason that you felt, even when after you died, because you still have skin and so
Yeah.
forth,
Oh, I see.
you would wake up and feel something because that's the skin is responsible for you
Yeah.
feeling, not the foundation consciousness, which is
Maybe
gone.
one of the
Oh,
six.
nice. That defeats his argument.
Oh, it defeats it, huh?
By the way, I prefer the spelling Bizgo. Okay, Bizgo she.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the one.
Yeah, I know he did it, but I think it's sloppy.
Doesn't it depend on the tense, Keshula?
Future tense, to be smeared.
Oh,
This go means door, that's what I'm saying.
but it also means.
I just mean, anyway,
Okay.
Make it easier.
it's uncomfortable for me. I'm not totally complaining. He probably has a right to write something. Okay.
All right. Take the
Okay, here we go.
plane.
I'll crash the plane. That's, by the way, John Foley taught us this thing, and he's going to give us a teaching next Sunday, because every time he comes, we ask him to try to make us better workers. And he asked me to ask you if you have any requests for the emphasis of his talk. Let him know in the next few days, because he's scheduled to speak to us next Sunday, okay? A week from today. So then you give him time during the break to sort of prepare his thoughts about it, okay? So if you have some emphasis that you'd like him to talk about, I think it's helpful to us, because we're not very good as a group. As individual translators, we're good. But now we're publishing our first books, which means we have to act as a group. And we're not quite used to that. So, it has to be a group effort to get a book out. There's a lot of details to be done. We have to work as a team. Somebody has to do the layout, somebody has to do the final editing, somebody has to do the printing, somebody has to finance it, and other details. Okay, so anyway, it'd be nice to have kind of a team talk, but you think of some emphasis on it. Okay, and let John know. Okay, please. And thank you for coming.
Yay.
He gets paid like $50,000 for 2 hours. So
Pay you later.
we're next live. So anyway, we're lucky to have him here, and he's very gracious of him to not charge us an arm and a leg.
It'd be cool to know more, about how to utilize a team, how to, we kind of have a tendency to like take responsibility. If something has to be done, I'm just going to do it. And to know how to delegate, how to work with a team, how do you take a job, split it up, how do you decide how my friends can help, figure out how to do that.
And maybe with a geographical difference, west and the east,
And time.
and the time difference.
Time zones, you have to have a fast plane.
And
Right.
when we are together in the same room, there's no time.
Well, that's another aspect. This is a global project.
Yeah.
The biggest translation teams are Mexico and Russia, Ukraine, and then the main printing people are in Indonesia, and the place where we're thinking to release it is in Canada, and that's a challenge. Yeah. Okay. Let's not use words time, or he'll get irritated. Please, we're on to the. How many arguments about Kunshi? Yeah, and we went to a different author, which is
Fearless Blade.
Chujinong Pelden.
the Mongol star. Writing in a foreign language, by the way, like Stanley, which is amazing. He's writing in a foreign language, and he's the best. So here we go. I'm not saying Stanley's the best.
No, I know.
Okay, but anyway, seventh argument, and so we went to another author because our author didn't cover it. That it wasn't enough for us. It didn't satisfy, like a mooncake. Okay, here we go.
그리고 돈판이 두시 매배 뇽족배 파 장치미용 거 뇽배 기울라 군시 유태 제작기 루 남시키 키 신페치어.
Yeah, good. Okay, important mistake here. We corrected it. Okay. Huh?
Siri agrees.
Thanks, Siri. Rikpa Dumbani.
The seventh argument.
Here's the seventh argument. Why you call it argument and not proof? Because rikpa means proof.
Because sometimes they're not proofs. They're just
Yeah, it's a weird list because half of
Arguments.
them are arguments against, half of them are arguments for. The arguments against are refuted. So
Arguments
anyway,
against, arguments against.
yeah. So here we go. So there are two states. He says you must have a background consciousness, right? A storehouse consciousness, number 8, which the other schools don't accept. Nobody else accepts it, only the mind-only school. And the mind-only schools, you must have one because of Dushin Mepe Nyomjuk and Gope Nyomjuk.
Oh, because of those two kinds of meditation.
What are they?
Seventh
the
and eighth of the lion.
meditation where
Right.
you have no discrimination.
Yeah, which is number 7 of the lion stance. Because number 8 is Dushin Me Min.
Where you don't
Neither.
discriminate, not discriminating.
Yeah, you don't not discriminate.
Not discriminating.
Don't not discriminate, and you don't discriminate. But number 7 of the formless realm meditations is, why are they called formless realm meditations? You do them in the formless realm?
No, they send you to the
They send you to the
if you
formless
do
realm,
them well.
right? Okay. So if you're in this meditation where you have stopped your mind, why don't you die? If there's no background consciousness, why don't you die? If you turned the light off, then how come you're still alive? Okay, if there's no background consciousness going on in the background, let's say this advanced person on the who's going into nirvana from Chirmyong. What's Chirmyong?
One's not returner.
Yeah, don't have to return. One of the 4 results of the path of virtue, practice of virtue, which is the first one. Stream mentor. Second one.
One's returner.
Come back to the Zara realm once. Third one.
Non-returner.
Yeah, and then Arhat. So this person's on the verge of Arhat. Okay, here's a Chirmyong who's about to go into Gognyam.
Their cessation
Or they're going into a cessation meditation, which has different meanings in different schools, but basically means an emptiness meditation. usually.
If you're Chirmyoung and you kill yourself, do you become an Arhat?
I don't think you'd want to kill yourself.
Well, why wouldn't you want to kill yourself?
Okay, anyway. Yeah, I think in an extreme case you can say in a lower school presentation where Bemre Gyunche, what?
Yeah.
The cutting off of the
Yeah.
particular matter in the mind.
Yeah, you discontinue body and mind, which is their idea of nirvana, right? So where's what happens? Where's the mind? Oh, it's kunshi state, okay? That's the mind-only school. Kunshi continues, okay? And what's the proof for that? That there has to be some background consciousness going on, is that the body is simba by the namshe.
How about the consciousness?
Health?
Yeah, there has to be awareness in the body. Awareness has to be holding the body. The body cannot be awareness-less. Okay? That's all. And I don't take, I made a note to myself, don't take this as the fifth consciousness. He's not emphasizing sense consciousness. He's just saying there has to be a mind in the body and mind complex. That's all. That you see what I mean? He's not talking about, I don't think he's talking about tactile sense. Okay? Which is what Lu can also mean.
You
Say
can know
again?
for sure.
I'm just saying Lu Namshe here is not Luki numbership. Okay, in my opinion. Okay, all right. Now somebody says, I disagree. I don't think you have to have a background consciousness in those states of deep meditation. That's not a proof for kunshi. And we say,
Trupna, tetaki lu shi lu su telua tang tetak kangsak mayin pangyor wechir.
we are bridging to which text? But the beautiful bridges forming here, that because their texts are maturing,
I don't know.
there's a lot of,
When in doubt, it's Stanley.
I don't know.
come on.
I mean, Sugangs, like we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly, Sugangs, from yesterday, but that was a long time ago.
2
Or
days.
the last one you had. Okay, here's the argument. If you disagree that in these deep meditations there must be some background consciousness going on, okay, who's saying if you disagree?
We are.
Who's we?
Mind
What
only
hat
is-
do you have on?
Mind only.
Mind only school. Yeah, okay, if you say that's not the case, that you have to have some consciousness, background consciousness going on during these deep states of meditation, well, then I guess they're Lu Shiwa.
Your body just dies.
Yeah, I guess their body is a dead body. Okay, I guess their body is a corpse. Telwa, sarcastic answer. Oh, so I guess they're living in a corpse, huh? They're meditating in a corpse, right? Shantideva would say downstairs
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
when they talk about why normal warriors are not so special.
Because they're going to die in a second anyway.
Right.
You're killing people, going to die anyway. What's the big deal? You know, why take credit for killing someone who's going to be dead in 5 years anyway? What kind of hero is that? What's a real hero? Fights the anger. Fights anger.
I mean, don't
Been
they
there
think
forever.
that meditation is an act of Yukinoparshepa?
Hey, I'm
I mean, I'm just wondering if they would say
talk
that.
to him. He's the mind only guy. I'm support all schools.
What is the first rule?
Yeah, good question. I'm glad you asked that question. Their body must be a dead body. That's all. That's the two bodies. Their body, dedakilu, comma, pause. You gotta read it, you gotta phrase it like this. Dedakilu, shilu sutel. So where you pause in a sentence in Tibetan is everything. Dedakilu, say dedakilu. Shilu sutel. You have to take a breath there. Their body must be a dead body, huh? Their body must be a dead body, yeah? That's why the two bodies here, okay? And I've never seen this combination. He should have said Shiwei Lu or something like that, okay? He's being cute. Tawadang. That first reason, and now I'll give you a second reason. Then they wouldn't be
A person.
a person, which is exactly the position of Sugeng's text 2 days ago. There's no such thing as a shiwei concept. There's a concept shiwa, but there's no shiwei concept.
Mm.
There's the death of a person, but there's no dead person, because persons are alive.
There's no dead person who is a person.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's his argument, and your mind-only guy would say, talk to us again.
So what's the year doing here? Becoming? Yeah.
Oh, would be.
Become?
It's like tawa. Would be.
Oh,
Would be optative. Okay. All right, go.
Teishintu kunshimena nyam shak sakme kyang me parn yurte tela nepe kang sak me parn yurwe chirte yishi sakme yinpe kamsung kangrung yindro war mite ching
Good.
tele shen kongsaki sen shi kemal lang pechir.
Nice. Okay, Daishindu, and along similar lines here, okay, along similar lines, still the mind-only guy talking. Along similar lines, Kunshimena,
if there weren't.
if there were no foundation consciousness, well then there wouldn't be such a thing as a stainless, unstained deep meditation, which is an Abhidharma term, right? So it could be direct perception, emptiness, or something. Then there would be no such thing. Then there could be no such thing. Why? Because there'd be nobody in that meditation. Okay? Tela nepa means in that meditation, staying in that meditation. There wouldn't be anybody staying in that meditation. Well, why? And by the way, if a syllogism ends in cheer, I break it,
But
and we indent it, and it looks nice on the page. But here he's connected the two syllogisms, Siamese twinned them. He wants them to go right after the other, and he does not want them broken. So just be aware, if you have a cheer with a date, don't break it. It's really kind of a dual reason, okay? Because Yishe Sagme Yimbe, because they're Yiki number Shipa, which is number 6, good, which is a consciousness accepted by
everybody.
all schools. Awareness of your thoughts, I'd like to translate it. Awareness of your thoughts is Sagme, is unstained, because he said right here, unstained. It's not in middle way terms, it's not holding things as self-existent. It doesn't think the husband is coming from his side. Okay? Sakme Yimbe. Because that state of mind is pure, it would be incorrect for it to be assigned to any of the 3 realms. Okay, I'm going to read this as a sign, okay?
Meaning that
Doer.
you keep that one with you all the way to Buddhahood?
No, it's out of the wheel.
It's out of the way.
Right.
It's out of the wheel.
never
You
really-
can't say it's in the desire realm or the form realm or the form. He's out of the wheel. This state of mind is out of the wheel. And since it's out of the wheel, there's no person anymore. Because people are 6 kinds of birds. I mean, come on.
People are beings.
Hey, I'm just saying, this is your argument. Respect it. Okay? Because his mind is otherworldly, the person would have to be out of the wheel. And then he wouldn't be a person anymore. Or she wouldn't be a person anymore. Yeah, there you go. She's like, oh, so Buddha's not a person, right? The guy pointing to the moon, church, and you take the guy pointing to the moon. Okay. Because Dele Shen, any other than someone in one of the 3 realms, okay, so you got to supply that. Any other than someone in some one of the 3 realms. Here it's any one because you can't be in 2 at the same time, I guess.
Right.
Kaza, kitsenshi means any example of such a being. came along.
They don't
Can't
accept
accept
it.
Yeah, they can't accept it. That kind of gets them out of your
Okay.
thing. It says they don't accept. I mean, I'm not me. He added the word they wouldn't accept, meaning I'm not talking about me. It's they. They think that. They think what? Who can summarize it?
They think.
Summarize this sentence.
They think if in an unstained meditation.
Good. Call it the direct perception of emptiness, although it wouldn't be called that in this school.
So is that what they're talking about?
Yeah,
Essentially?
basically.
Okay. So in the direct perception of emptiness, a person
Yeah.
who are human, I guess.
Well, you can say person. Could be a deva, maybe.
Okay. A being at the time who's experiencing that could not be considered to be on the wheel
Yeah. In any of the realms.
in any of the realms, and therefore
That state of mind isn't in any of the realms.
that state of mind is in any of the realms, and therefore that person
There wouldn't
doesn't
be
have-
any.
doesn't
There
have
wouldn't
a
be any
kunshi.
person.
It's not a person. Yeah.
There wouldn't be a person.
Yeah, but what does that do with kunshi? Is the
Oh, kunshi is the background consciousness. It's always there, even in the direct perception of emptiness.
right? So
And that's the person
because that person is off the wheel altogether, there must be a kunshi to keep them.
in the wheel,
In the
because
wheel.
they are.
Ah.
They're sitting in the desire realm, seeing emptiness directly. If there was no kunshi, there would be nobody in the wheel.
So what is it that they don't accept when he says come along?
Oh, they don't accept that there exists an example, senshi, of a person who is other than one of them in the three realms. Okay? Based in the three realms? Okay. Alright. We can't posit any other person than a person in one of the three realms. If there's no background consciousness, that person couldn't exist because they would be a quote so-called person outside of the three realms
Got it.
who's still in samsara. Okay?
There'll be no fourth path or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
What is our stand
Say
from
again?
higher, what is the stand from higher middle way?
Yeah,
I'm
what-
sorry, what?
What is the stand from
Yeah.
higher middle
What's,
way?
what is
Viewpoint.
he's saying? So what is then keeping you in the desire realm if you have a pure mind? You know,
Oh, right.
if your Yuki Namparshepa is in the direct perception of emptiness, then like, is your mind in the direct perception of emptiness still in the desire realm?
I think they would say the person sitting in the desire realm is, the body is still in the desire realm, but the mind is not in the desire realm. For example, when you're in a form realm meditation, you can almost say the mind is in the form realm. Okay.
Okay, but that's still stained.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would
Yeah,
still
but
say
your
it's stained.
your seeds
anyway,
is
right?
reasserted.
So that's totally.
I think they'd say a desire realm person is having a otherworldly thought or something. That's okay.
Yeah, would they say that the consciousness is unstained?
That's a
They
great
wouldn't
question.
use that word.
Right, they wouldn't say that.
Yeah,
That's an
Abhidharma word.
Abhidharma term.
Yeah. Or would they say that it's outside of the six realms?
Vimala, right?
I don't think they would.
I mean, you still have
Yeah, I don't think they would say
They would
that.
say there's nothing about your keeps
Yeah.
that are
Yeah.
pure.
even your mind, still has a lot of problems.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if your perceptions of blue are messed up.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Tei Yula Kangsaki Tsen Shir Kyurwe Yi.
Kyrpe, right?
I guess so.
Just agree.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
Yes,
important.
gotta be.
It's
Totally.
important, yeah.
Kyurpe Iki Nam Shi Shun Shintu Trawa Yu Chepe Kyang
Kyang.
Kyang Kyun Pong Min Nute.
Now, tie this sentence to what I said about the formless realm about half an hour ago. But that was a long time ago.
Well,
Oh,
the problem
with
is
the subtle,
that
your subtle body?
Yeah, like on a tantric level,
Yeah.
you still have subtle prana going on, even in the formless realm, which is form, which is physical.
Subtle form.
So they would say formless realm means gross formless realm.
Right.
Okay, and here someone's making the same argument.
Shinti Trawa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is a person.
Very subtle.
There's a Yuki number Sherpa, which is
Shintu Trawa.
Shintutara.
Very subtle.
There's a very subtle trace of awareness of their mind going on
Yeah.
during this deep, during even meditation on emptiness. there's still a very subtle self-awareness going on. Okay. Kazaki censure, and that can act as the classic example, right? That can act as the example of the person here. That's the manifestation of the person here. There's still an awareness of their mind going on,
I mean,
and that's what the person is.
sure.
Gyulagamsa?
Well, that seems.
Person in the
In
mind
their
state?
mind, there is still an awareness of their mind, which is the foundation of what you call the person in this school, right?
This is.
Awareness of your thoughts is, in some schools, Michael is defined as the person listening to Michael's thoughts. Okay? Person, Michael.
This is a kachik again?
Yeah, it is a kachik, yeah.
Okay.
Because somebody else says,
Right.
well, look, even in those deep meditations on emptiness, there's some kind of self-awareness going on. And that's the person. And that's still in the desire realm.
I mean,
And that's still in one of the three realms. So you can't say there's no person going on, and you don't have to posit a
kunshi.
kunshi. Yeah.
Right.
There's a normal consciousness number 6 going on in the background. You don't need a consciousness number 8 in the
It's
background.
perceiving emptiness.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
there's a subtle one that's.
No, one of awareness of your thought.
All right, you don't even need that. Right. But okay. That's
Don't you
okay.
Oh, because that's in a realm.
Oh, that's in a
Okay,
realm.
that's in a realm. So somebody
half
comes
of your
up and
Yuki
says,
shape is in a realm and
he
half of it's
proposes,
perceiving.
no, you still have a consciousness going on. You have a subtle awareness of yourself, of your mind, as you're perceiving emptiness directly. And we say, Gyun Pong Minu.
You've eliminated that problem.
Minu.
You haven't.
You're not
You
able
haven't
to.
gotten
Yeah.
You can't get rid of that.
That argument doesn't solve the problem. Okay, that argument doesn't solve the problem. Gyun Pong Minu.
Oh, yeah.
Don't come and tell me that. Now who's talking?
Well, us.
The mind only guy, yeah. Gyun Pong Minu. That's not going to solve the problem.
Because
Why?
Dendro.
Denda. Go ahead.
Um,
Denda we namshi.
ten trawi nam shi te sakme shipa tang riptun pa ina ngor chang he do dang gelwar gyurla.
Good, good. This is cool. This is really cool. He says, who says, the mind only guy, he's saying, you know, this doesn't solve the problem. Dendo e namshe de, if there was a background awareness of your thoughts going on, which is not consciousness number 8, which is not the mind only, if there was such a thing going on, then that would have to be of the same general type as the direct perception of emptiness. It would, they'd have to be sort of running along the same lines.
Right. Because they're sharing Geek number.
Yeah, and they're kind of having the same Sung Den Ra, right? They're having the same coloration,
Yeah, right.
of which is emptinessy.
And some about.
They're both emptinessy.
Right.
Okay, they have the same coloration of mind.
Sure.
Okay, and we just got through with a famous quotation from a sutra that said you can't have two streams of thought going on which are both colored the same.
I'm sorry, two which are colored the same?
Cannot.
Streams of thought.
Two consciousnesses cannot, which are colored the same, cannot be going on simultaneously. Not possible.
Wait, how did quotation
Not
say?
possible.
Last term.
Yeah, I went back and got it for you. Here, I went and gotten back. I got it for you.
About the chick child, right?
I went and got it for you. Here's your translation of that. Okay. Suppose you agree that this is the case, you would then be contradicting the statement from Sutra. The flows of consciousness and living beings are separate from one another. Okay. That was a proof to show that you can't have multiple consciousnesses going on at the same time.
We argued that the Buddha said
Who
that.
said you could?
The Buddha?
We.
Mind only.
Yeah, the mind only.
Yeah.
They have to say. Why?
Because Kunshi
Kunchi goes on all the time.
Yeah.
Background consciousness. The sutra says you can't have a background consciousness. You can't see two things at one time. Your mom told you that. Your wife told you that. You can't be focused on those
Yeah.
translations
Put
and
your
pay
phone down.
attention to me.
But they
Where
were
did I
saying-
I
hear
was
that?
involved in this argument last night, yeah.
They were saying it's the coloration.
Even when we talk on the couch, he's like, "You're thinking about basketball, aren't you?" Yeah, okay, okay. Okay, she says when my eyes go like this, like she's talking to me in my eyes. I'm looking, like, I said, no, there's a fly up there.
As long as you never accidentally call her that.
Still not paying attention.
Okay. Yeah, so is it reasonable for our mind-only guy to quote that sutra and say you have a problem with the sutra? That's my question.
Because he's saying the coloration is the
Well, he may be, by consciousness, he seems to be implying Yikino Prasheva specifically.
He's kind of saying, you're the guy who pulled out the sutra before. Aren't you the guy who pulled out that sutra before that said you can't have two consciousness with the same coloration going on because you didn't like my kunshi? You see? So just understand where we're coming from. We don't believe it. But we're saying, oh, aren't you the guy who pulled out the sutra before? That said you can't have two consciousness going on at the same time? The wife sutra. Aren't you that guy? Okay, got it? Because that sutra is not comfortable for
For them, well, it wasn't originally.
who?
Well, they-
Mind-only
keep-
school. It's uncomfortable for the mind-only school. By the way, how does the mind-only school get out of this quotation?
coloration.
No,
They interpret.
separate. The word separate.
Yeah, they interpret it different.
They
Oh,
go
because
after the
it's
word
coming from
separate.
Kunchi or something?
They go after the word separate.
No, it's
They say separate doesn't mean, same type exactly. Not the same type. Okay. It means like same coloration could be your awareness of smell and taste at the same time, because don't you enjoy dinner? That's a mind-only argument. That's a mind-only argument. When Buddha said separate, he wasn't talking about you couldn't have smell and taste going on at the same time. That's not what he meant by separate. So they debate the separate. There's a huge debate about the separate. Okay. Nobody
As there
nobody
should be.
claims the sutra didn't say that. The sutra does say that. I went and got it. But what does separate mean? Okay. Okay. Can you have separate streams going on at the same time? Yeah. Because you can enjoy a taco. Right?
I'm getting very hungry.
Me too. Okay, Doden Gilwer Gir. So, Nar Changba, past tense of Jemba meaning quoted. Quoted, which is why you can't say wa. Okay? Quoted before. Okay? Okay? Riktumba means same type, which refers to the separate. The word separate. Okay? What does same type mean? And there's a huge debate about it.
Is it coming in?
Buddha said you can't have two consciousnesses of the same type going on. Okay? And then what's he mean? That's a huge argument. Okay?
Sure.
All right, Doda Gyawa Gyurla. Keep going. Rigmitun.
Rikmitun pa yin serna kunshi tun kelam naming la dang dangwa tsam
Yeah, it's
tu-
got to be something else.
Okay.
Uh,
Dangwa tsam to zepe chiro.
yeah, I'll tell you what he means. Now, you got to go check the carving. And I'm not going to check carvings anymore.
Okay.
I'm going to have you guys do
I
it.
still don't
Okay?
have a copy of it.
Talk to Ben. All right. Rigmi Tumba Yin Serna. Oh, that's not a problem. We're talking about not with the same flavor. We're talking about not with the same flavor. Okay? When we say there's a subtle consciousness that's still going on, it's not the same flavor as the kunshi. So we don't contradict the sutra.
Okay.
It's not exactly the same flavor.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
That's subtle consciousness, like the formless realm idea we had with prana, that's still going on in the realm while the main mind is out of the realms. They're not the same thing. They're not. The Buddha was talking about the same type. We're talking about different type. Therefore, you can have kunshi going on.
Yeah.
Okay, got it? You okay?
That was the argument from last time.
Uh-huh.
What would be the same type then? What's the example for the same type?
two kunshis going on?
Like two hearings.
They would say, like a mind-only guy would say, what the Buddha meant was you can't have two kunshis going on. Or you can't have two separate smell consciousnesses going on. You know, smell the poop and the spray, the bathroom spray, at exactly the same moment, without, what do you call it?
Toggling.
Yeah, they would say Buddha meant
Try it.
in the same millisecond, in the same 65th of a second, you can't be aware of the poop smell and the spray smell. They're going like this. Right? One is stronger. Okay.
Eventually they may.
Kunchi dun ke lang ne.
And you have a new smell.
Ming Rigmi tumba yin no? Now, if you say that, if that's your argument, right? Whose argument? Somebody, some mind-only guy, clinging to the idea that there must be some little tiny background consciousness going on. That there's still a Yiki number Shippa.
That's not mind-only.
That's not, which is not a Kunshi
That's
Goya.
us. Yeah.
There is a background consciousness, but you don't need Kunshi to say that's what it is. It's just a normal number 6 consciousness. It's an awareness of your thoughts in the deep perception of emptiness. You don't need to say there's a Kunshi, because there's a subtle conscious number 6 going on while you're perceiving emptiness directly. The state of mind that's perceiving emptiness directly, I admit, is out of the 3 realms. But the tiny background awareness that you're meditating, by the way, which you don't have during the direct perception, but he says you do. He says you do, okay? That's going on, and so you don't have to talk about a kunshi. You don't have to say there's a kunshi going on. That's just a little tiny self-awareness going on in the background of your direct perception of emptiness, and that little tiny self-awareness going on during your background consciousness during the direct perception of emptiness is in a realm. And therefore there is a consort. Got it? There is a person.
But
Got
in
it?
our school, how do you explain how you can remember that you saw it later?
Well, don't go there.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good, that's wrong, Rick.
That's just another seed.
That's the bear with the
bear.
with the bite of the mouth.
Yeah.
Okay. Kunshi dun ke lang ne. Some to say bench. Having accepted the concept of a kunshi, okay, or I'm gonna read it this way. Okay, I like it. Remind me that I said this later. If you say there's a tiny little trace of background consciousness number 6 going on, what's really going on is that you're accepting my kunshi. Okay? Kunshi dun ke lang. You know, let's let you have that little background, number 6, but let's just admit that it's kunshi, okay? Okay? You're describing kunshi. You're just calling it a different name. You're calling it conscious number 6, but what you're describing is my kunshi. So you can call it, you can stick to your names. You can get hung up on your names, but what you're describing, in essence, dun, is my kunshi. You accept my kunshi. Okay, got it? So this is, he's like saying, dunchi, kunshi dun ke lang ne. So in essence, you have accepted the concept of a kunshi. Mingla down with something to say. You're just getting hung up on what we call it. Now what the verb is, I don't know. Something's wrong here. Depa maybe. But then the ba is wrong. So we gotta check the carving. It doesn't matter. What it means is, you're just getting hung up on a different name. You're accepting the concept of kunshi as I describe it, and you're calling it number 6. Okay, go ahead. But it's a kunshi anyway. Okay, got it?
So there's no difference between number 6 and kunshi. That's the implication.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a exactly perfect argument. Okay, go. Number 8. You okay?
Yeah,
You
I
look
was-
troubled.
No, I was thinking of what verb the dangwa was.
Yeah, I'm kind of stumped.
It's probably day, like
It's probably day.
terms,
You're
right?
stuck in names.
Yeah, probably terms.
It's
right?
probably that.
I
You
think
know.
so.
It could mean this dangwa means you're pissed off at. Yeah, it's the synonym for anger. So
Oh, right.
I don't think it's what he means to say. I mean, it's possible that he's saying You're just having a name irritation, but I don't think it's.
It's unlikely.
Ming Day would mean you're just getting hung up on names.
But Ming La Day?
But it
is
might be
another-
something totally different. I don't know.
We can download the scan right after this.
I don't know what. The problem is if it was day, this should be pa. In which case there's two carving errors next to each other. So anyway, it
Time-
might be an
time's up.
idiom that means you're hung up on names, meaning you're irritated with names. I don't know. Time up. No. Okay, next time we go to the last one and we're done with this, with these 8 arguments, which are one of the most cool parts of this whole book. Okay, the 8 arguments.
This was
Geshe, is it an Abhidharma guy that's arguing against the minor league?
We don't know,
Might have to
do
be,
we?
because it doesn't sound like us.
It talks about Sakya, Sakme, which is a very Abhidharma.
And I
They
think,
love this word.
yeah,
So.
and I think these guys are stuck because they're, because of the problem of not accepting outer objects. If you accept that you have a body that's in the desire realm, it's kind of not such a big deal.
Yeah, I like the exercise though of trying to identify who's the other party because we don't usually do that, and it's a good idea that you had to try to identify the other party. It's kind of nice to try to identify who's the other party. By the way, sometimes I warn you they are somewhere between schools because their idea is so weird you can't really assign it to a school.
Sure.
Okay. Are you ready, sir?
Sanshi.
Puki Chushin Meto Cham Lira Vingshin Yende Gempagi Sangye Shindu Mite Uwargi Jokun Namda Shingla Chuparsho Iram Guruna Mandala Ganyayatayami
Gewa.
Di Kewokun Sanam Yeshe Sobsoshin Sanam Yeshe Lechungwe Dampa Kunyi Toparsho Shogadish Mogadi